And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing FortressCraft Evolved. Working on the Mutation factory here. And this is using up a lot of tubes. But I think I have a route that works. If we come across like this, come over here, I think this will work. I'll probably need to make... Yeah, I'll definitely need to make some more tubes. Oh, I hate when it does that. Okay, more tubes over here. I should have plenty of resources. Ooh, not that. I've got quite a few resources on me. Ooh, it uses so many crystal. Okay, so this is where I either have to go above or below, and I'm thinking of going below. So we're just going to dig this out right now. And we're going to go one more deeper than I really need to do it. Okay, let's maintain our sanity here. And I should have my jetpack. Yeah, that'll help. That'll help matters. And then one more for luck. There it is. Look at that. So yeah, all of our material is going to be sort of bridged around this. So let's first get some copper going. This is going to come out like that. And get this going as best that we can. And then the next thing is titanium. And these are pretty straight shots, although I want to watch my drops. All the way out here. So I'm just going to throw in a tube and build. Build it down. Start that process. And next, or the last one, thankfully. Oop. Oh yeah, some of those are grabbed by the beacons. So I'll have some wood. I'll have some wood in a beacon, or in that last cryo hopper there that I'm gonna have to filter out. So let's build this out as far as we can. No, not that's a little too far. All the way out. Nope. Down. There we go. And just try to bridge this. We should have enough. Why did you build sideways? Okay, so here we are. Look at all the slimes we already have up here. Why are you building down? I'm pointing up. Okay. No. Okay, and now sideways. And now let's figure out. Okay, this has got to come out. And then these can come down. And oh yeah, now they're building. Now they're building facing the right way. Okay, since those are down, let's take a peek at these. These should be good. So these should be good to go here. Those are good to go there. Let's close this back up. So slimes do not. Don't you dare. Oh, look at that. He came up. Awesome. Okay. Copper, titanium, and tin. Should be coming up here. Cruising down the lane. And going to the right locations. Copper, titanium, and tin, just like I set it up. Unfortunately, it looks like iron already branched off over here, unfortunately. But we'll make do. There we go. Those are now dedicated to those resources. Now, did nickel stop? 1001. It did. It did? Did it? Yes, there's the drone. So it's awaiting low stock. So it was able to stock itself just fine. And everything is good to go. It looks like we have a couple spaces here for maybe a little bit of leeway, a little bit of extra stock if we want. But yeah, all the materials now run into basically our bus. Now it's just a matter of figuring out the best way to tackle this process, because this is going to be a nightmare of slow resources unloading out of here, unfortunately. So yeah, we have now all the resources loading in. Now, if I wanted to readjust this, and if anybody left comments that said, you know, you're indifferent to the bus and you're okay with me tearing this down and maybe using a strict tube-based bus, then bless your heart. But using the freight cart mod as a basis for my bus is going to be a little tricky, because we're going to have freight cart loading stations all along here, and then a track coming down here where all of these resources can unload. And so we can have a copper unloader and then a tin unloader. And so the carts themselves will just go and pick up a specific element to deliver a specific element. Which would be kind of nice. But again, I'm not sure how fast it is. And if this is any indication, we are in serious trouble, because I know there are some processes in the game that use way more bars than 5 per 30 seconds. I mean, this is so painful. All right, because I really want to get research up and running again. And that is my first step, is to get, you know, every resource, copper, tin, iron, lithium, gold, nickel, and titanium, all being made into experimental pods and being sent down to our research station so we can really push the research quickly. That is the next step. I want to get as much researched as possible. So now we need to look at... I'd really love to do more input ports, but I can do that off camera because I've already done a few already. So those are the stockpiler ports. We know they stop once they hit 1,000. Again, 1,001. Where is that extra 1 coming from? That's weird. So yeah, we are good. Let's look at... There's my wood. Let's look at the output port now and see what shenanigans we can get up to here. So basic mass storage output port. Doesn't need anything too fancy. We just need to craft a ton of copper wire. And I think... Do we have the option of researching the faster output port? That would be phenomenal. I don't think we have it in here, but we might have... I think it's logistics. Advanced storage. I think this one is it. Yep. So these are the input and output ports. Oh, there is a stockpiler Mark II. Nice. Okay, we're definitely going to want to research this as soon as humanly possible. And that is 25 intermediate. Oh, and 5 refined liquid resin? Are you kidding me? Oh, that is disheartening. I died a little inside just then. Resin handling. Oh, man, I know we've researched it. And I've got everything going, but I mean, aside from having this cleared, I don't have any progress towards this because there's so much coal. There's so much coal over here. I don't want to tear this apart just yet. A lot of juicy, awesome coal over here to use for Hodors. So yeah, that's unfortunate. That is really unfortunate. So I'm going to have to figure out something. So what is a freight cart? What would it take? Logistics, I'm guessing? No, mine carts. Freight cart station. So that is what you'd hooked up to mass storage. Supplies freight network with designated resources from mass storage. And we need a load station and an unload station to craft that. Oh, that's just great. That's an ore freighter, and that's a freight cart depot. Track junction. You can actually, oh, that's cool. Freight system monitors. Well, that's kind of cool too. So yeah, the load station and unload station, that one is painful. Those are just so gnarly to craft. I need to even unlock them from the points. I don't even know how many points I have left. 93 points left. This is gonna take a lot of points to unlock all this. So there's the unload station, there's the load station, track. Come on. Basic minecart. And I only have 51. I'm gonna research my GAC mod machines. And I think that's pretty good for now. I don't really have a need for anything else. So the load station and unload station. Primary PCB, so we're going to need to make a bunch more of those. So yeah, I'm going to make a bunch more primary PCBs. I've got a bunch of organic rock. All that time I spent down the cold caves, that was one of the reasons I did, is I wanted to get some organic rock. And so I quadrupled the amount of organic rock I have just a couple hours down in the cold cave with those lasers. So we got plenty of that. The basic mine carts, we're good on those, although I need some nickel plates. Yeah, I think I'm good. See, the ore freighter is just for ore, so we can't use that. We got to use the basic mine carts for the depot. Used to place freight carts on the tracks. So I think we can use the regular depot for basic mine carts. I think this freight cart depot is only for the ore freighters. If we look at the help on this, I don't think it tells me. No. Interesting. So maybe we do need the freight cart depot, and maybe that's the thing that tells the game that there is to track that specific minecart. So we're going to have to keep a careful eye on that. But yeah, we're going to have stations all along here for the different materials. And I can even specify that this is the nickel station. So it only will load nickel here. And that way it's close to where I actually use it. which is important for throughput. Because you don't want those little overhead sort of drones traveling too far. Okay, so before I forget, I need to kickstart a bunch of primary PCBs. And so I'm going to change these out to be huge storage hoppers. And then we can kick off some primary PCBs. And do I need any wires? I've got lots of tin plate. So let's see. Basic minecart. We're going to need some nickel plate. The primary PCB I'm making. The copper housing, that is from copper plates. I think I have a few of those left. So I just need some nickel plate. So I am going to craft 600 of these. So 600 of these, I'm going to need to grab the first set. Just like that. That way. Should be good to go. Just because we are able to make it. Okay, so we're making some nickel plate that I can use in my craft of the minecarts. And we've already got a good supply of PCBs coming in. That's nice. So, if I do... How many of these am I going to need? That is 22, 23. I think that's 24 blocks total. Because it is 3 times 8. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 3 times 8, which is 24. So that is 24 blocks. So if I did 24 stations on the side here, and that's a lot of stations. If I did 24 of those, how many resources are we talking? That's a lot, I think. It's an overabundance. So that's 24 of these, 24 of these. So that's 48 sets, each needing 5 primary PCBs. So 48 is nearly 50. So if I round it up to 50, that is 50 times 5. It's 250. 250 primary PCBs. Well, I'm currently crafting 200. So I just need a few more. And that should be good for the load and unload stations. And I'm good on those. Minecarts, I'm good on servo motors. I can craft those by the hundreds. Nickel plates, I'm making 600, which is enough for 100 carts. That should be plenty. And freight system monitor, I'm going to have to get that going. And the track is the other piece. So I think we're going to need to lay out some of our first crafting areas. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do the track yet. If it's going to be how this is going to work, because we don't have the logistics. We don't have the logistics researched yet, which is improved minecart logistics. I need this to be researched to create those buffers to redirect carts and to make them kind of bounce back and forth. So I think this is going to have to be, at least starting out, a large loop that goes around and merges right back. So the carts themselves, it's just going to be like a big O in here. And then we'll have unload stations periodically in the center of this. And we'll need to expand the system as we go. So those are my thoughts on how this system is going to work. I've got a few more primary PCBs to craft, which I can do in between episodes, and get those load and unload stations crafted, and finally get the freight thing crafted, the freight stations. And we're going to need more of them for the unloading of freight itself. So there's even more involved. Because, yeah, we have freight cart stations. That's great. That's great for the loading, but the unloading as well is also used here. So there's a lot of stuff that I need to read on. A lot of information here. He did a great job on the help book for these systems, and so I got to actually take the time to read all of this, and that way I know exactly what I'm doing, and I won't lead anybody astray about how to set this system up right. All right, well, that'll do it for this episode, and I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.